Miles.
Hey there.
Right, so we're actually laughing here because we're up in the Rio Dulce River and we made it across the sandbar, right?
Barely.
So drama?
Drama, there was a little bit of drama. We hit hard sand at about 10 feet into the channel, and a little bit of panic ensued. And after that, we had towboats come over and tip the boat, which was shocking at first, but
tipping the boat. Yeah. So how do they tip the boat?
well, they tipped the boat.
Let's look at the top of the mast up there.
Yeah.
75 feet up, right?
Right.
So
and I guess went up to the masthead and attached to halyards, and went out about 200 feet off of our starboard side, and two boats, one boat in front pulled, and the other boat on the side pulled, and
heeled the boat over
in opposing directions, and the boat heeled over to about somewhere around 20 degrees.
Yeah, and so that tipped the keel up enough, right? Mm-hmm. So that got us out of the mud. Well, sand and silt and mud and all that kind of stuff. It's a known hard entrance to get into here, right?
It's a known hard entrance.
So we pulled it at a king tide, right?
Yeah, right.
And so we heeled over.
Not king enough.
Yeah, not king. Well, we surmised in our defence that maybe because of the rainy season that there's a lot more silt out there.
Right.
Anyway,
it's tremendous flow coming out of the river, which pushes back tides too. So.
Well, that's true too. So so we heeled the boat over. We got it up out of the mud, silt, sand, and then got into the harbour here. And then so a bit of a laugh, right? So then we
now
thought, well,
it's a bit of a laugh.
Yeah, now it is. It was because we were right at high tide. So if we got stuck, the tide was starting to go down, right?
Yeah.
So now, so were you concerned about the rig at all?
I was terrified about the rig. I mean, 100,000-pound boat being pulled from its masthead, sideways was a little disconcerting.
Yeah. So then we got back to the dock here, back to the anchorage, and then I decided to start doing a full-on engineering analysis. Right.
Yeah, for the last
it took me a whole day
and a half.
Yeah, and
but I think you've completed it, right?
Yeah. Turns out
it's possible.
All those spreaders up there make a huge difference, and so I'm going to attach this video into a blog, and we'll do a little analysis on the engineering analysis on the spreaders and how that shares the load and all kinds of stuff. So it's actually pretty cool. So this is going to be a cool article. I think the advice that you said yesterday is invest in your
rigging.
Yeah,
make sure it's up and working, and check your chain plates and
chain
all
plates
that, because all it takes is one cracked jaw and you're done. If you have to be tipped anyway.
Right. Well, here's all the all the connections, right? So it's not just the wire shrouds that's the weak points. It's really the connecting parts also the weak points. So you got to check all those, check all your turnbuckles, check everything at the top of the mast. This is
a significant inspection to go through, and I would certainly recommend it every year, having a inspector come and take a look at the stuff. Right,
and so one of the things even I've been told is all of these areas down here. This is where your chain plate goes into, and you cannot have water leaking into those because that will set off a little bit of rot. It'll set off a bit of rot in your and down in chain plates. That's not good.
That's not good.
And then I think the final
rot is never good.
Yeah, rot's bad.
Rot's bad.
And then the final piece of thing that we realized was what we did good was we used the dock lines for actually using the boat to pull the mast over, and that reduced the shock load, right? Because dock lines are designed to do that. They're stretchy, and so if you're ever going to have to pull the mast over, use dock lines because they're purposely stretchy. That reduces shock load, and shock load from the engineering analysis that we did is can create 2 or 3 times the actual force that is happening, so that puts 2 or 3 times the force on the rig, which is not a good idea. Right?
Not a good idea.
Okay, all right.
And point loads it.
Yeah, that's bad. Yeah,
that's bad.
So, so the point is, right, and then we'll finish it off with this, is that, wind heels the boat over, right? Mm-hmm. And it can heel the boat over the same amount as the boat pulling the boat over, right?
Right.
So, we sort of thought at some point when we were trying to calm our nerves on this was that, well, if the wind heels the boat over, that much, and for pulling the boat over that much, then everything should be good, except for the fact that, you know, I kept it quiet that we're actually putting a point load at the top of the mast, not a nice even distributed load all the way up the mast. So,
and you didn't do your analysis until after we made it.
Right. so it turns out there's a real surprise. So read the blog. There's a real surprise in terms of the point loading. Is it better or worse than, what are you looking at? You're looking at something broken.
Broken.
Yeah, he's looking around all the way.
Strand on the steel cable.
That's not good. Okay, so there's a real surprise in the engineering of it. So you know, read below if you're in the blog, or, you know, look up the notes on this description, and you'll find a link to the blog in this video. Right?
Yep.
Yeah, so it's cool. It's gonna be fun. It's good little exercise. All right, cheers.